This is for our country.
Every line spoken on stage in Fatherland is true. It's a play, but it's not a work of fiction. Director Stephen Sachs created the piece around the testimony of a son whose father was involved in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. It's not a stage adaptation. This is verbatim theater.
With all of my heart and soul.
Every word is directly from a court transcript, from case evidence, or a public statement made by the actual people involved,
which he then cobbled together into a narrative without adding a word of his own. Theater has long been used to pass down oral history, and verbatim theater has a history as well. The living newspaper was a theatrical style that can be traced back to Bolshevik Russia, and in the U.S. to the 1930s, where actors performed factual pieces based on the issues of the day. It's a tradition Stephen is proud to continue.
It's very hard to know what is true and what is false today, so I feel like it's our responsibility as artists to put the literal truth on stage.
It's something that's very much a part of the Fountain's DNA. Over the years, they've presented works that tackle political issues like immigration, racism, reproductive rights, and gender equality. But Fatherland, Stephen says, is not a political diatribe.
It doesn't tell anyone how to vote or what to think or feel.
Ron Botita plays the father, who has to defend his actions on January 6th, after his own son, played by Patrick Kelleher, turns him into the FBI. Audiences get to hear both sides, unfiltered, in a way that allows them to put themselves in both men's shoes.
When I read the script, I went, God, I feel terrible for this kid, but I feel terrible for the dad as well.
Ron may not personally agree with what his character did, but that's not his job, he says. His job is to portray him without judgment.
Present it in a fair and balanced way and allow the audience to come away with their own conclusions.
Speaking of conclusions, Stephen co-founded the Fountain Theater 34 years ago and just announced he'll retire as artistic director at the end of the year. But even as he prepares to embark on his next act, he's confident the theater will continue doing the type of work that's been so important to him. Work that he says
speaks out on social issues and on human issues that are urgent to the time in which we live.
It's a promise the father of the Fountain has kept, shaping the LA theater scene for generations.